Hi everyone, fall winter is upon us, and if the weather outside is frightful, cold, and you're looking for an awesome potato soup fast, I got you covered. The first time I made this potato soup recipe, I found Food Dolls on YouTube potato soup in a mug recipe. This is a fast, delicious potato soup that you can microwave. This calls for a 1/4 cup potatoes, 2/3 cup milk, microwave 2 to 3 minutes. However, I'm going to about double the recipe, although with potatoes, I always use, if I'm making for myself, I will use one medium large potato, which in my opinion is a little more than a 1/4 cup because I must have large potatoes. Anyway, I used 2½ potatoes, diced fairly evenly, and smaller the better. We are going to microwave this for 2 to 3 minutes. We may have to microwave for another 2 to 3 minutes. We're also going to add milk. If you have a dash of heavy cream, that will work as well, in addition to milk. Or if you just want to use heavy cream, we're going to use some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper to taste, and a cup or ½ a cup of chicken stock, or you can use a cup, ½ a cup of chicken bouillons with water, which is what I did. So let's microwave our potatoes. Again, for my recipe, which easily serves 2 to 3 people, I'm using 2½ medium large potatoes. Also, you guys, I mentioned this is Food Dolls on YouTube's recipe. I'm going to do my own rendition of this recipe, and once we have added all of our ingredients after our potatoes have cooked in the microwave, I also will then add everything to the stovetop. And I think that if you have the time, the stovetop step really adds a little something special to this recipe. Hey everybody! So our 2½ minutes just ended on our potato soup. Make sure to always use microwave safe dishware. To check if our potatoes are done, take a fork, and as you can see, the fork doesn't just easily puncture any of the potatoes, and in fact, these are going to need another 2 to 3 minutes, and maybe even 2½ minutes more. So pop everything in for another, I'm going to set this for 3 minutes. And also, give everything a good little stir. And hit start. I just pulled our potato soup out of the microwave. It needed an additional 3 minutes, and as you can see, as I run all of the potatoes are just easily punctured, and this is the perfect consistency. So at this point, and actually if you'll notice, almost all of my water from that was in the potato soup boiled over and is now in the microwave, so I'm mopping that up. But let's press on. I have 1 cup of essentially chicken broth. This is 1 cup with 2 chicken bouillon cubes, dissolved and stirred well. So even though we lost a lot of that water to the microwave, that's quite alright. Just we're going to pour our 1 cup chicken broth or chicken bouillon in water, and at this point we can either microwave for 2 to 3 minutes more, or in my case, this is where we're going to add to a little saucepan with our chicken stock milk, and seasonings. Once we have pulled our potatoes out of the microwave, our potatoes had cooked for about 5.5 minutes in the microwave, 2.5 minutes, and then 3 minutes. I just added 1 cup chicken stock. We're going to add 1 cup milk. I'm adding it to the cup that I had the chicken stock. This is totally irrelevant, but I want to gather up as much of that chicken stock that I can, and then we just add it to our little saucepan. We are going to need a medium heat. We're also going to need a lid, but before we do that, we're going to add a generous 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon onion powder and granulated garlic. So the recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm more than doubling the recipe. So I will be adding 1/2 teaspoon onion powder, and 1/2 teaspoon granulated garlic. So after adding our granulated garlic, our onion powder, we're going to salt, pepper to taste, and also, according to Food Doll's recipe, at the very end, they also added arrowroot. I'm not familiar with that, and I certainly don't have it on hand, but I can tell you that between garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and your chicken stock or chicken bouillon, your potato soup will have more than enough flavor. And also the milk, but also if you have heavy cream, go ahead and also pour a splash in, and it really does make a wonderful difference. So once I've located a delightful little lid that'll work perfectly on our saucepan, before we cover that up and set the timer, combine all ingredients. In the next 10 minutes, depending on how you like your potato soup's consistency, you can start to somewhat mash, I don't want to say puree, but however you like your potato soup, at this point you can start to incorporate the potatoes in with the soup, but I like it both creamy and with big chunks, so I do a little bit of both. I don't want it totally chunky, but I also don't want it totally like a mashed potato soup, so I want a delightful little combination of both. But once we've incorporated everything, put your lid. We have a really good medium heat, and set your timer for 10 minutes. Hey guys, I wanted to add this crucial step that once your potato soup has been sitting for about 5 minutes, you need to check on it and maybe add an additional 5 minutes and enjoy your potato soup.